Thanks. A first of its kind in L.A. A full body scan on the way to a train.
So we wanted to know if this kind of tech could work for BART. KPIX 5's Phil Mateer spoke to one BART director who says yes. Phil?
Liz, you know, for years people have talked about what about being able to scan people as they go into BART. After all, it's one of the most traveled and open transit systems we have in California. And for years they said if you set up scanners or metal detectors on here, it would back the lines up all the way down Market Street. But now technology has made a complete change in that, and one we might be seeing in BART down the line. Let's take a look.
Imagine a security scanner that could detect suspicious items up to 30 feet away. A scanner that could be pointed at BART entrances or escalators and scan up to 2,000 passengers an hour without anyone having to pass through a metal detector or empty their pockets. Well, it's happening in Los Angeles and soon in New York. The question is it something that BART should be looking at as well? One director we talked to says yes.
Is this something that BART's looking at?
Then it's something we should be considering.
BART already has some 4,000 cameras on its stations and trains, with technicians able to call up station cameras in real time to zero in on trouble. And in the aftermath of the recent slashing of 18-year-old Nia Wilson, extra police are also on patrol, all to improve public safety. But could the scanner spot a random slasher with a knife?
I don't know that it would pick up something like the knife used there, but I think that we have to look both at the big picture.
And these days, the big picture includes mass shootings and terror attacks, as well as random crime.
You know, I talk to people every day about riding BART, and many of them are uncomfortable.
Former FBI Special Agent and KPIX 5 security analyst Jeff Harp says the scanners have both pros and cons, especially here in the Bay Area.
Well, it's a deterrent, but we got to remember there's a balancing act between security and personal freedom.
It's non-intrusive, it's not showing body parts, it's really there to detect assault weapons, bombs, and things of that sort.
Still, the BART riders we talked with today were mixed on the idea.
Not comfortable at all. And it's really intrusion of privacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Because there's too much happening on BART trains, too many weapons, too much going on.
Now, BART already has security cameras throughout its system, and there's a debate going on now about whether they should include tracking and keeping an eye on people. So the privacy debate about whether or not we go this far remains to be seen, and one we're going to be hearing about here at BART. Liz?
Phil, what about the money? These scanners aren't cheap. They cost about $100,000 each. Where is BART going to get that kind of cash?
Well, if they get in on the ground floor, what they're hoping is that, like Los Angeles, the Homeland Security, the feds, in other words, will pick up the tab. They're going to have to, because right now BART still needs the money for its new cars and other things as well.
Sure.
But they're hoping to be sort of a pilot project, okay?
All right.
Meanwhile, here in San Francisco, Phil Mateer, KPIX 5. Back to you guys.